my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. We are on Crabby Thursday. This kind of crab, sweet crabs. But before we do that, we need to change this number. Not to the big one yet, but take off the 8 and add the 9. 99, over 99,000 subscribers now. So that means we're super close to 100,000 when I give away the log cabin quilt. Exciting, exciting. So thank you to Maria in North Carolina for doing this cute little pouch with all the numbers for me for the sign. All right, so feeling crappy. We need to do another row of quilts and another row of of crabs. You're going to do another row of crabs, and I have a special use for the crabs to show you, because you know that's kind of what I'm about, to show you how you can use these in other ways besides just in the quilt. But before we look at that, here are some of Wendy's blocks. She is sewing up her crab quilt with Lost at Sea. Perfect name, right? They're so darn cute. Love them. So we're going to go on the other side and see what is a really fun way to use a crab block. Here is the darling bag that Bobby, our ambassador, made for me with one of the crabs. Look how cute this is. So stinking cute. Okay, these are project bags that have the clear front on them, and the pattern is by Annie Unrin, who's a good friend of mine, and this is one of the many bags Annie has. So I thought I would just show this to you. Plus, Annie sent me a set of bags which are in all the different sizes, because this pattern makes all the different sizes. So fun, so fun. So Bobby made it in the bigger size, and it has a gorgeous, nice, easy to open zipper. So it's got a nice zipper pull on it, and then she put a little pull on, like a cloth tag. Look how it's nicely finished. Look at this. And the bag then has the, get in the camera. So there's the inside of it. And you can see I've been putting blocks in these, and it's just so fun because on the back side, you can do all kinds of crazy fun things. I'm thinking to do also this exact way Bobby did it for a pillow, taking one of the crabs, the extra crab that I made, and do a pillow like this. Now this is inset seams to get there's an inset seam to get this method of putting these on here. So if you want to see that, I'm happy to show that, because I think that would be really fun to do a pillow this way for the couch. So I'll have the quilt hanging, and then a table runner, and then a pillow with the fun crabby crabs. So the other pattern, the pattern has also multiple sizes. So Annie sent me this set of bags. So you've got the large bag like Bobby made for me. So there, you can have all the different colors of fabric down here. Now Annie's was done with just one fabric versus our crab like that. And then there's the other sizes. So they're smaller ones in case you have maybe small projects. These are great for your cross stitch, your hand embroidery, your English paper piecing. I'm storing blocks in them. Then you have a little bit smaller one, which is more like, it's got much more the rectangle size now. And then the baby one. Look how cute this is. And Annie did all of these, so they're all the same. Look at the quilting on that. They stuck that on the long arm and quilted it. So there's a couple of different products you need, like the plastic, this So Soft Stable that Annie does, so that it's got a nice firmness, the zippers, and all that can be gotten with the links I have down below, including the pattern. So there you go. You can get all that and make yourself a zippy bag. And if you like this crab as a pillow done like this, I will do this next week when I get talking about the table runner. So here it is again. Just had to show you up along. Right? Great. Got to have a project bag for your crab quilts. Now I'm going to talk about the critters. We're going to work on that one section of critters for the critter quilt, because it is so much fun. I can tell you, I'm having so much fun with this. So let's dive in. So let's take a look at how I'm approaching getting all the little spacers in. And because I do the diagram, like this, and I'm not just sort of winging the shapes. Everything is an accurate size, which means this unit is going to lay very flat, and the quilt top will be nice and flat and square and even, rather than just sort of putting strips and cutting off at the edges, where you tend to stretch your items out of shape and you don't know what sizes they really are, and then that's how your quilts warp. So because I have it all structured and built out as a pattern for myself, with drawing, writing what the sizes are, I know everything will be flat. So that's the there you go for that part. A couple people were asking, they were just saying, well, why don't you just put a strip and trim it? And you can, but eventually your quilt is going to get really wonky, and you most likely won't have a flat quilt, because you're not working with accurate measurements anymore and knowing really what size you're dealing with. So I am looking at these parts, and it has been fun. I've been pulling some fabric, going through my things, but first I've got the camera angled here because I think I'm going to have to also bring the other camera, but I can pull you in a little bit and show you what I have right now. Let's just look at the swan and the gecko, or whatever he is there. So I've got this sort of mountainy fabric, which I love, right above the swan. Love it. Then I found this little, I'm sort of keeping it a little bit light up in right here. So I have that. I don't like it in this position. Do not like it. So I've already found some other things to try out there. Then I did little square in squares with my swimsuit fabric. And so the middle one is a different color, around the outside of it. So I made, there it is. Look how cute. Look how cute they are. Now they look really darling there. So I'm very happy about those. And what I did is I used that size has to be 3 inches. So it has to be the 3-inch paper, which will finish to, it's a 3-inch finished, and it's a 3.5 start. So that you have to look at that when you're working with these little papers and things, to be sure that you've got the right size, so you don't chop it all up by accident. So I didn't really care for this here. And I started thinking, I think I would like a stripe. I still like to keep it light, but I'd like a stripe. So I went ahead and switched the stripe, and that is much better to me. So then for this, I think this will work down here. It's going to be skinnier in that position, so I'll have to trim it down to be a smaller shape. So that works for me. Put it down there. So I figured they'll go somewhere probably. I'm kind of collecting. I'll show you then. I'll show you the working stuff over here in a minute with the other camera. But I'm kind of collecting some of these fabrics up so that if I use them here, then I can use them again in some of the other spots of the quilt. Now we're down here above and on the side of the snail. So I've got the snail, and so I have a little bit larger pieces to work with. And I thought about piecing stuff, and then I thought about just using some blues like that. And then I was playing around, like I have this fabric, sort of a beachy fabric, which is so cute. I thought about that. I'm just putting here for size. But these, they weren't doing it for me. Excuse me. They weren't doing it for me. So I thought, well, what if I just hunt around? Let me just look around. What if I have something a little bit darker? Because it's got a dark base for the grass there under the snail. So let me just show you what I have on my working table with the other camera. I have got the part center stuff, and right now, and here's some of the fabrics I've been auditioning or using and keeping them for other places, but these are not really working out size-wise. I don't really want to force them to these positions. They're just not working for there. So I pulled some other fabrics. I even pulled the squares, and I had found some navy nautical fabric, which definitely has to go this way because it's directional. Here is something that's a little bit more teal. Then I found the octopus fabric. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Let's trade out this bathing suit fabric for the octopus fabric. I'll switch back to the other camera. So here is the octopus fabric, and I've had this a little while, a couple years, and used it. You can see for something. This was done by the Ruby Society. They look like velvet for some reason. Just the shimmering of the black on that charcoal. So I have to use them. So here they go. So if you're putting them here, then along the top, I did have that lighter fabric that was up there, like a strip, whatever it was. It was a strip. We'll just put this here for a sample. So I had the strip, but that, whoops, see, it won't even stay there. But I didn't like it. I didn't like that. I feel like it needs something darker. And so I was thinking, well, navy, because I thought, well, I'm going to put some navy also in the settings. They won't all be just the lighter light blues. So I thought, well, what if I had some sort of a navy stripe in here? Because it kind of balances out that grass area. So, but I didn't like the navy against this gray. So I got a gray bin. Went into the gray bin and hunted around, and I found this, which is another Ruby Society, which also was from a few years ago. I think it was called Florida. I actually did a bed quilt with these. That's on my bed right now, with not just this one fabric, but the whole different pieces from the fabric line. So if I'm rolling this up, there's places, because it's only like 2 3/4 is what I have to cut the width, but I could get the cranes in. There's one that's flying down here, which I kind of like him. There, see the one that's flying? So what I have to do is just sort of roll this and audition it out here, because there's also this neat leaf, this great big white leaf that I like, and so that way it keeps it from being too dark in my mind. And so if I kind of there, I can kind of do the audition. So I don't want to cut anything yet, although I have cut a few pieces. I'm trying to not cut anything, because sometimes I have to work through a few shades. So I love this. So they both have to be cut sort of like right now, like there's 2 octopus heads down and only 1 heads up. So I want to fussy cut that so there's more of them looking up. Me and my directional fabrics. Now there are some skinny pieces around the butterfly on either side of the snake, and they're smaller. So I'm going to work on those and get those done. And hopefully I can just sew these sections together and actually sew this whole thing so that you can see it at the end of this video. But now I want to show you, I'm going to show you what I got in the mail the other day, what I ordered when I ordered the extra charm packs that I didn't need, that I now have. So I'm just going to show you what else came in the order, just for fun. Okay, let's go to the other side. So let's take a look at what came in my little shopping spree, where I bought 2 more of the Portsmouth charm packs, which I found I already had. What else was coming in there? Remember I said, well, I ordered pink. Well, I did order the exact same pink I have. Plus, apparently, I was thinking, well, I might need an option. So I ordered one of the other pinks from the line. So I have all of this now, and I had great suggestions. Several people said to me when I showed you the Just 2 charm pack that now I could do an Oh My Stars, and I could do something from Cheryl's book. So that might be kind of fun. Maybe like one of these. Those might be kind of fun. I forget what she called that one, but they look like they would be fun and easy as a like sew other things kind of project. So I'm going to stack these together. I'm going to put all these together in a there's another quilt project. So I thought I would show you what else I got. This I actually ordered off Etsy because it's long gone. I had to find a retailer that still had them. And I wanted a bit more of this pink, which is what I'm using in the summer baskets from Susan Aki's book. And then that same shop had this piece from the same fabric line, which was called Charleston by Amy Sinibaldi. And I picked up another piece of that because I always love that fabric, and it's getting, I don't even know if I have any more. So anyways, what I got with the Fat Quarter shop, besides my Portsmouth, is I did buy some yardage. This was one of the ones that I showed you as a great basic, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to get get this green plaid because, or gingham, whatever. It's a kind of a wide gingham. I thought it's great for a border, for backing. It's fabulous. It'd be great if you're doing a quilt on point and you could do all the setting around it with this. It's very summery. I love it. I love it. Then I picked up a few other things. So let's us take a look. I saw this. This was not even on my radar, and I had to get it. These roses. Look at that. I have to open these all up full. There we go. So I just love it. I think there was a second color as well. So I will put a link to everything in the description box and down below under the video. Then there was a school text, penmanship thing. I just thought that is fabulous. And it's red, everything red. So of course flowers are red too. They're kind of a pinky red. And then I saw some more mushroom fabric. So I had to get that. Isn't that sweet? So sweet. I also needed some glue, and I've been loving this glue lately, and mine is pretty much gone. So I got that. I use it mostly for tacking down hanging sleeves, and sometimes for tacking down the binding as I'm going around it. So it's flat. I picked up 2 patterns because I definitely have to make this kitty quilt. What am I doing here? I'm not on camera. My brother-in-law has quite a few cats. He loves cats, and I thought this would be so cute. And then I had to get this mushroom one, the forest fungi. I don't know if I'll make it, but I own it, so there you go. I also picked up a bamboo, the cloud fabric that is Fat Quarter Shop cloud batting that's for the Fat Quarter Shop. It's branded to the Fat Quarter Shop, Happy Cloud. And we tried bamboo. Karen, my long armer, and I tried bamboo for the library quilt, and we really liked it. And I thought, well, let me try this brand as well. So I got this one to try out. Well, Karen will try it out. And then I bought Firefly, and I thought, well, look at this, because with the Critter quilt, this might just be perfect. There are still pre-cuts of this at the Fat Quarter Shop of Firefly. So there's all kinds of the pre-cuts, and I just love it. Mine is a fat 1/8, so this one is a fat 1/8 cut. There we go. So some of them are bigger print, and that's where I thought I'm going to get this out. And it's got mushrooms, some mushrooms, and a little bit of pink and teal. And the owls, got some owls in there. So I thought this would be good to fussy cut in some of the sections of this critter quilt. And is like black moons. Get this down here, black moons. There's mushrooms, pink. There's the firefly. See, I have to get a little fly. Maybe I'll audition that firefly instead of the swan up there, or the crane. Some other flowers on black, like fireflies on light. That's the name of the line, Fireflies. And there's a moth. Now I'm learning those are moths. More mushrooms. I should get all my mushroom fabrics, everything that has mushroom, I should get it out. This is pretty. This light gray could work really well. They think these lights in here. And there are moths on pink, and I think those would work really well. Any of these, there's charm packs. I'm just looking at that thinking this would be so cute in this quilt. These fabrics would be so cute. From the just 2 charm packs, there we go. Did you pick that up yesterday or whatever day I showed that? Be sure you get it Tuesday, I think. Moons, here's some pinks now. Pink fireflies. I love fireflies. One time we had a whole tree light up with fireflies. It was full of fireflies in our backyard. It was so cool. Look at that. There's moons. There's like a magenta. Yeah, this is magenta. And magenta mushrooms. So cute. Now this piece is the larger print, like I showed you already, on gray, which would also work well with this quilt. Might find a little section that works well. There's a mushroom with the red. That's really cute. That right there could fit in that quilt really well. Okay, navy fireflies, and that print again in the teal, dark teal. I'm sorry, it's not navy, it's dark teal, light teal, and teal mushrooms. Look at them. Look at them. Teal, aqua, more aqua now. Fireflies. I use the word teal, aqua, and turquoise interchangeably. I do. Okay, there we go. That was my wonderful purchase. Lots of fun stuff. Links are in the description box below for everything. Now let's go back and wrap it up, and in between I'm going to sew that stuff together. I'm going to audition that firefly though, because I just might have to put that in now and save the other for another section. I think that might be the plan. I'm going to go look. Well, my goal was to actually sew the whole thing for you. Here it is. Oh my goodness, I don't think I can even get far enough away to show you. So here's at the bottom. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to need to put it on the wall and get the other camera. Well, they are darn cute. And I got the firefly, the gray firefly there. Plus there's the fruitcake blocks I've done so far on the side. So had to show you those. So this is looking so good. I will put a picture on the critter page at my website. I love to make quilts. So be sure you are sewing your crabs. Because they are just so fun, and maybe you go ahead and pick up the pattern so that you can do your own project bag with the crabs. I can't wait to see it. Show me some of your crabs. I want to see them. I'll do a little parade of them if I get enough of them. So show me some pictures. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.